Right, okay, folks. So, it occurs to me that at the end of that video did just cut off a bit, so I'm just going to go over the last few bits for our Big Ben tutorial from part one. What you're going to do is you're going to rotate so you can see the underside of this square. You're going to zoom into the base of these segments, and you're going to click on one. What you can do then is you're going to make a new plane that is 0.5 mil beneath this flat surface, as so. I'm going to click on that plane in the left-hand toolbar to select it, and then I'm going to make a sketch on this plane. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to bother drawing my whole shape out again. I'm just going to click on the project tool or the convert tool there, which is next to the text sketch. I'm just going to click on the top surface, and you'll see that the yellow line highlights, and beneath it on my plane, the outline of that shape appears. And if I click that, it just turns that shape or puts that shape onto this new plane. All I need to do then is click on extrude, set my extrude to 0.5, ensure it's directing down or going down, and click the tick. So what I should have now, let's just check. I've got a 0.5 square, I've got a gap, and then I've got another 0.5 square that goes all the way around. Um, and then I've got my arc so to descend down from there. Okay, right, that's all the details that we're going to add for that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into my assembly, and I'm going to insert that part that we've done, and I'm going to insert that 4 times. I could do an assembly linear pattern, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some fasten mates on here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to choose which one of these, and they're all identical for the minute. I'm going to choose which one of these I'm going to use as my base, and I'll choose this one. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to fix it in place. This means that whereas I can free move these others, I can't move this one. I'm going to click on what's called a planar mate, and this is I've got insert, I've got this mate connector button, and then I've got the fasten mate. Sorry, the fasten mate. If I said planar mate before, just there. And what this is going to do is it's going to fix two parts to each other from a certain point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into the one that I fixed. In the center, you should see this icon appear. If I click on the icon with the fasten mate selected, and you'll know if you've got it selected because you'll have this box up. I'm going to click on the upside of that. You should see the top goes yellow. I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to click on the underside right in the middle again of one of my other pieces. You'll see that that jumps up to on top of that. And I'm going to click my tick. And now I've got two bits that are in sequence. I'm going to do the same with my next bit. Fasten mate, the center of my second piece, the underside of my next piece. Just click on the center, click the tick. And finally, zoom back in, click on the fasten mate, click on the center of that newly top piece, and my final piece. I'm going to click the tick. And now, hopefully, we're seeing where Big Ben's coming from. We're getting this tower formation. Now, I'm going to jump back into my part studio now. And I want to make another one of these, but I want it to be a bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my linear pattern tool again. I'm going to select this whole part. Direction, really doesn't matter what direction. If you just click on a plane, it should use that as the direction, or click on a straight line. I'm going to set my distance to 35, or bigger than 35, maybe 50 if you want a little bit more clearance. Click the tick, and now I'm going to scale this by a tiny bit, because if you look at Big Ben, the top one of these segments is actually a bit bigger and a bit broader. So I'm going to click on my transform tool, which is here. I'm going to, click on the piece I want to transform. So that's a new piece, not the original. It's a new piece I've just made in my part studio. Where it defaults to translate by line, you're going to double click that, and you're going to go down to scale. And we're just going to have a play about this. Point or mate connector. If you click that thing that looks like a piece of pie or Pac-Man on the right hand side, all you want to do is just click somewhere on your model. So I'll click just that center point. Really doesn't matter too much. And in your scale, I'm going to click 1.1. And that's going to make this piece just a bit bigger. And we can see how big it makes it. So we jump back into our assembly. We insert. We've now got a second part here. We've got part 2. You can see that's a bit bigger. drop it, click the tick here, and now I can just put a Fasten Mate between the top, middle of the top there, and the middle of the top here. And you'll see that that has come out a little bit bigger. And this is going to lead into our clock tower. Now, we're not going to do our clock tower today. If you want, you probably can't actually. You might be able to put some connectors in there. That might be an awkward job, so maybe don't do that. Just to make that transition from the smaller ones to the bigger ones smooth. If you want, you can dial down the scale to perhaps, if you jump back in, if we double click on our transform here, you can dial down the scale to 1.05. That just makes it a little bit smaller. It might make it a little bit less obvious, and that should carry through. That change in the transformation should carry through onto your assembly. And I know we've not done a lot today, but we are going to leave it there, and we're going to focus on making the clock tower or the clock section in the next video, and then hopefully the roof in the section after that. Okay, thank you very much, guys. We'll see you then.